like to just call to order the zoning board of adjustment meeting for Tuesday, July 21st, and we'll start with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So before we get started, I'd like to see Terry Bonser for Dirk Grotenhuis.
Okay.
So tonight we have two cases to hear. One is was continued from approximately a month ago. So that case is 26-004 VA Dudley, 147 Mitchell Road. This application from Roger and Angela Dudley, trustees of Dudley Family Trust, requesting a variance from Article 3, Schedule B2 of the Nottingham zoning ordinance to permit construction of a new garage 21.7 feet from poorly drained soils where a 50-foot setback is required, and 25.4 feet from very poorly drained soils where a 75-foot setback was required. The applicant's property is located at 147 Mitchell Road, a scenic road in Nottingham, New Hampshire, identified on tax map number 7, lot 8-4. And yes, is continued from April 19th, May 19th, excuse me. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair, members of the board. For the record, Brett Allard with Shaughnessy Allard, the attorney for the owner on this project, Mr. Dudley, who's seated with me to my left, and then also Eric Salovich with Northam Survey. He prepared the plans that's before you. He's been to the Conservation Commission a handful of times now. And then a representative from our builder, Mary, is seated behind us. So this was continued from 2 months ago. I probably don't need to go back through everything from scratch unless folks have any specific questions or concerns. But essentially what we're looking for is we're proposing to build a new garage. There's not currently any covered vehicle or storage for parking on the property now.
So I think where we left off, sir, is you were gonna bring new information.
Right.
That was.
Right, yep, so we're asking for two variances, one from each of the
I will
wetlands.
also mention to the board, because I don't remember who was all here last time. I know there's at least a couple different faces here tonight, so if the board has questions as we're going, please bring them up.
Certainly.
Thank
So
you.
we are asking for two variances to be within the wetland buffer on each side of the proposed garage that's shown on the plan. When we were here 2 months ago, the general will of the board was for us to make one more trip to the Conservation Commission with our wetland scientists to talk through some of the soil classifications, which we did with Sergio Vanilla from Mission Wetland. He prepared a wetland function and value assessment that was submitted to the Conservation Commission. And he attended a meeting, I think last week or 2 weeks ago.
Last week.
With Eric, so I'll flip it over to him to get up to speed in terms of what happened there.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Anderson and Mary. Good to see you again from Conservation. I know my wife was like, "You're going back to Nottingham?" I know. So since our last meeting, we did engage Sergio Bonilla to do some additional analysis and assessment, and then also provide recommendation as assistance with working through CONSCOM and making sure that we're protecting the resource. So just to go through some of those recommendations, since the last time you guys have seen the plan, the garage now has a infiltration trench dug on both sides. There is a detail for that at the top of the sheet. It might be a little tough to read those details, but that is a standard way for roof runoff to capture that roof runoff so that it doesn't run off into the resource. We're also proposing some proposed brush piles and some nesting boxes, which would add some habitat to the wetlands. And then there was a lengthy discussion regarding the shed. We have revised the plan to show the relocated shed. The Conservation Commission recommendation letter states that we could either leave the shed or move the shed. And we've kind of left that up to the Dudleys. Wanted to show both options for tonight's meeting in case this board was leaning one way or the other. The advantage to rotating the shed is it gets it a little further away from the very poorly drained wetland body. There were some members of the Conservation Commission, and Mary, please correct me if I misspeak, but we're in favor of leaving the shed where it is because that's actually less disturbance to that area as the shed exists. So that is kind of one of the things that are still up in the air, but we show both on the plan, and if it's left up to a game time decision, then inevitably it would be Robert's call on what makes the most sense for the site. I haven't really thought about where the plowing, I think Robert actually snow blows, so it might not be as important, but the snow blower would reside in the shed as the garage is basically just big enough to house 2 cars. It's not an oversized garage, so there's not going to be a ton of room for tools and that sort of thing. So keeping the shed on the property is really important for rakes, shovels, wheelbarrows, and snow blowers and that type of thing. And this is what we kind of came up to a mutual consensus with the Conservation Commission, and a lot of thought has been put into this plan. And we feel like it's a pretty good representation and protects Mother Nature.
Excuse me, I'd like to just take care of a point of order and bring Kevin Bassett on board replacing Bonnie Winona tonight and voting.
Yep, sorry for being a little late.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to the party, Kevin. My name's Eric Salovich, Northam Survey. Brett Allard, Shaughnessy and Allard, and Robert Dudley, who is the applicant. So that's pretty much it. In part of this, the revised application, the Dudleys wrote an excellent letter, which I think is important to go over with the board. I don't know if the board has had a chance to read that letter. But it kind of talks about their history in Nottingham, how long they've lived here, looking to retire here, and really how this garage is a need for them as they age to be able to get out safely during the winter months to get to work. So I think that is an important thing to highlight and discuss with the board.
Did everyone receive a copy of the Conservation Commission's letter, the July 15th one?
And that's what I wanted to make sure the board had all a chance to look at that.
Yeah, I think those 2 letters are good. Things were generally, it seemed positive with the Conservation Commission. I think it's a nice letter. I think we've done a lot of the stuff that they're looking for. I think we've come to a pretty good conclusion here on what a viable project would look like Eric said. So with that, yeah, I'd be happy to answer any specific questions as it relates to the variance criteria that we went over at the first meeting, but otherwise, if anyone has any specific questions, but otherwise we turn it back over to the board for questions.
So I'd just comment that what I saw from conservation was pretty positive. It looked like there were some mitigation things to do with planting, et cetera, to I'll say nullify the, you know,
Mitigate,
closeness of
minimize,
the
yeah.
wetlands.
Yeah.
So with that, I'll just open it up to the board, for any questions.
I have a comment. Yeah, the Conservation Commission thought that moving the shed had pluses because it would make a greater distance from the wetland area. But we also thought that not moving it might be good because there would be no disturbance, it's already there. So either way, we thought there's a trade-off, one is good and the other is good. And then the Conservation Commission also discussed where you see the proposed shrubs along the drive, that we didn't think that they were necessary because there is a lot of vegetation, but the shrubs in back and to the side, those we thought were a nice addition to the plan.
Thank you, Mary. We were supposed to delete and remove the shrubs coming up the driveway that were not immediately adjacent to the construction area. And that revision was left out, but that's an easy fix come construction.
In the wetland report, there were no vernal pools, he said.
Yeah, no vernal pools, and he did scrape for some type of salamander to ensure that there were none of these types of, I don't know if they're protected or what, some spotted salamander. It's above my pay grade for it.
Yeah, and he said there was like 5 inches of water in that, I think, when he took the picture.
Yeah,
But I looked up, you know, in Concord, I mean, the end of that week, I think we had almost 3 inches of rain, so.
yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty wet time to go out there, so it looked good. I had a few comments, just some reasons. You know, I did some research in the file folder in the town office, and, you know, after further research, you know, I'm presenting the following information on why I'm supporting granting this application for a variance. The Dudleys bought this lot in 1988. This lot was came available in 1988. It was a town-approved lot. This was not some vacant, cheap, crappy lot that he bought with a lot of wetland on it. It was a state town-approved lot. It was approved in 1988. The Dudleys bought it in May of '91. The plan actually shows a 200 by 200 buildable area in the back with no wetlands. The septic shows no wetlands. The house they built, the house that's on there is a small house. It's not a big house, not in today's standards. They probably could have built a garage in 1990, but they waited until now. They wanted to build a 3-stall garage, but have reduced it to a very small 24 by 24. The zoning board of adjustment is where people come for relief because of unusual circumstances on their lot. This case is a perfect example. The Dudleys have probably spent more money asking permission to build the garage than it will be to build the garage. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Any other comments, questions from the board?
What
nesting boxes are you gonna put in?
So that I'm not super versed in. I believe they're little bird houses that sit on a post, right? Yeah, so they're just wooden decorative bird houses.
Well, they'll be useful to the birds, they're not just
True.
decorations.
Yeah. They're not, they'll look nice, but.
There's a picture in
Yeah,
our
there's a picture
material.
in the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that,
report.
okay. Okay.
The only thing that I have a question about, and it's in the conservation letter, if everybody read it, that because of the encroachment on the required setbacks, do they have to go, because again, I don't know all of these things, do they have to go to the planning board and get a conditional use permit if we approve this request? Or does that take care of it? Because it is in the conservation letter, and I think we all need to be clear on
I
that.
did take a look at that before the meeting tonight. And if you look at Article 3B, this is the wetland conservation area. It's on page 14 of the ordinance. It's section 6, conditional uses. Well, if you look up at 3 vegetative buffer, it does say 25-foot no disturb buffer around wetlands, so not vernal pools, is eligible for conditional use permit. But then you go down to conditional uses, and it says a conditional use permit may be granted by the planning board for the construction of roads, access ways, pipelines, power lines, and transmission lines. So I think the conditional use permit only relates to that very small set of circumstances. You wouldn't really need you don't need a conditional use permit for a structure. I think the variance covers all of it.
Okay, I didn't know, because I also read it, so I'll highlight it here. And then on the next page in C, we provided our comments, the Conservation Commission. And I just didn't know if on E, if that might have done anything with it. Because Drew, the chair of the planning board, is the one who brought up this conditional use thing. And frankly, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's best to be safe.
Yeah, those criteria like C, D, E, well, actually everything A through F there, that's the criteria that would have to be satisfied if the planning board were to grant the conditional use permit.
For a power line.
For a power line, a transmission line, an access road. So if we were proposing, just say, an expansion of like the driveway, no structure, we probably would have only needed a CUP from the planning board and no variance. But structures are sort of outside the scope of this CUP scheme. So the way I'm reading the ordinance, the variance would cover everything, and we wouldn't actually need to go to the planning board for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, because it's not really a change of use. It's just still, the only change is a garage.
Which is accessory use to the existing
It's still
permitted
residential
residential
use.
structure, yeah,
So does that settle that?
I think so.
Leave it there.
We all agree.
Thank you, Mary. Thanks for bringing that up, actually. That
Yeah.
was,
I just didn't want it to be like a ghost that haunted you
No,
down
yeah,
the road.
yeah.
Anything else from the board? Before we-
Tracy, that made it in the minutes, right?
I see a couple people in the audience, so I'll open up for public comment, public hearing. And if you want, we'll call it 7:20. I'm not sure if we have anybody here, but we can at least allow that time for, I won't even have you move yet. But if there is anybody in the audience that is for or against this project.
We're the builders for Rod and Angela Dudley,
Okay,
and we are definitely for this. They are so, they have been so patient and so good with all of this and everything that we have proposed and gone with. And we are builders of character, and everything that we need to do, we will do. And if you need anything from us as the builders, please reach out and we can supply whatever that is.
so I guess we'll consider that public comment if the board's satisfied with that. And we'll close that public hearing, we'll call it at 7:21. So with that, back to the board, any other concerns, comments? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve, case 26-004 VA, the Dudleys, 147 Mitchell Road, a scenic road, application from Robert and Angela Dudley, trustees of the Dudley Family Trust, requesting a variance from Article 3, Section B2 of the Nottingham zoning ordinance to permit the construction of a new garage 21.7 feet from the poorly drained soil where 50 feet setback is required, and 25.4 feet from the very poorly drained soil where a 75-foot setback is required. The applicant property is located at 147 Mitchell Road, a scenic road in Nottingham, and is identified as tax map 7, lot 8-14.
Second.
We have a second, a motion and a second. Any further comment? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. And none against, it's unanimous.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna say that a month for a challenge.
There is a 30-day,
Thank you. Have a good night.
thank you. So with that, I'll bring up our second case for the evening. And that's case 26-006, VA Noonan -20 Whites Grove Road, application for John Noonan requesting a variance from Article 2, Section C.3.A of the Nottingham zoning ordinance to permit a 14-foot by 10-foot shed with setbacks of 2 feet from the side and 4 feet from the other side, within the setback less than 20 from side and rear lot lines. The applicant property is located 20 Whites Grove Road and is identified map number 63, lot number 52. With that, I would ask somebody that
You want me to,
to
Kevin was appointed as he took the vice chair's place. But I can take over.
Are you
I'll do
okay?
it,
So, yeah, I'd just like to recuse myself because of the relationship I have with the applicant.
So we have a case, you read everything, so we brought it in. We'll open up this case for a hearing, and you have your stuff to read on your 5 criteria and
On the application?
yeah, on the application.
Yeah.
If you could just read that and. Did you go and look?
What's that?
Did you go over and look?
I did,
Yeah.
yes.
So, the supporting information,
Well, just the 5, you got the 5, yeah, that part.
okay. So number 1 was granting the variance would not be contrary to the public interest because our lot is extremely small. It's about 6,500 square feet. We are proposing to place a shed in the only spot possible away from the lake. 2, if the variance were granted, the spirit of the ordinance would be observed because the setback to which relief is being requested is to the side property lines. We replaced the septic system in 2025, moving it back from the lake. The replacement shed would also be moved back. So in 2025, we put a new septic system in. There was an existing shed there. It was started to rot. It was of no value. So when they tore the camp down and replaced the septic system, the shed went with it. So the house was built, the septic system went back about 6 feet, and that's why the shed was kind of moved away from the septic system. 3, granting the variance would do substantial justice because we believe the hardship we would have with such a small lot and the loss of a shed is not outweighed by a gain to the general public. We feel it would be an injustice if the denial we feel would cause harm. 4, if the variance is granted, the values of the surrounding properties would not be diminished. The septic property is currently bordered by 2 lots. These houses would stand to gain in value as the old rotten shed was removed. That housed garden tools, lawnmower, and storage items. The new shed is needed, so these items can be stored out of sight, and right now, they're kind of all over the place. We don't have a garage, and we have a crawl space for a basement, so there's no place to store anything right now. 5, unnecessary hardship. Owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, denial of the variance would result in unnecessary hardship because this property is odd-shaped and extremely small. The proposal aims to move the shed back from the lake compared to where the old shed was located previously. So the new shed is probably 6 feet away from the lake in like the little corner. That's the only spot we could really find a spot for. The proposed use is a reasonable one because the shed is essential to store items out of sight. The shed would move away from lake as the septic system was moved back in 2025. Due to the movement of the septic system, the shed needed to move back also. And then last part, explain how the criteria unnecessary hardship would be deemed exist owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area. With such a small lot, this proposed placement is the only option we have. Without a garage on the property and a crawl space for a basement, we feel an unnecessary hardship would exist if we couldn't get the shed. That's the 5.
Okay, anybody have any questions, comments?
Have a question? Do you have a question?
Yeah, how big was the original shed?
It was 14 by 10.
Same size?
Yeah.
Okay, I visited your lot.
Yeah.
You might have seen me parked there, taking a picture or two.
Oh, no.
I was worried. At any rate, so I noticed it comes out to a little V to the road, and is it a shared driveway?
Yes.
Okay. And where in reference to that driveway would it be in this little V that you have left? I noticed some big rocks there. Are you going to have to take those out?
No,
Is that little cleared area?
that little cleared area isn't really even ours.
Oh, it isn't.
No, the shed would be, if you saw where this, the candy cane
Yes.
vent is.
Yeah.
It's gonna be about 6 feet off to the left of that.
Okay, I've got to visualize. Okay.
Yeah, I know that,
He had it marked, you had it marked with a log along there and some bricks, right?
yeah, the
Yeah.
wheelbarrow was right
Yeah,
there.
right at the end where it comes slopes down the grassy area.
Yeah, this really didn't show very well that the road is really up there, and when we come off White's Grove, there is a right of way that we have to cross over to get to our property. But the right of way isn't on this little area.
Okay, I wasn't realizing there was a right of way. I was just taking you right out to the V to the road. And so, yeah. And then one of your abutters commented that they needed to know where you're going to have the door and all that so that it doesn't contribute to the congestion and overcrowding, which I'm not sure about. Which way would your door face on this shed?
It would face the driveway, so it would face forward.
Okay.
What direction would that be? Be facing west, I guess.
See on the 14-foot side, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's gonna face. the
double
driveway, yeah.
doors right in them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only place you probably, or on the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really not in the way of anything. I mean, I thought, well, plowing, but no, it's not, you don't push snow up in there.
no,
Yeah, that area that you saw, that's not on your land.
No.
With that.
no.
That's a weird shaped lot.
Oh, yeah,
That's one of the weirder ones I've seen over there, really.
yeah. It made no sense that, the people to the right of us have that land.
I know.
Right across us.
And generally, I like to see a 5-foot setback so you can walk around the shed and put your ladder up, but you're not gonna hurt much with a 2-foot, really, because, I mean, the land's right there's nobody there.
Right.
Yeah. And you're putting the door on the other side, so that's where you're going to go in. Yeah. I mean, you don't have a lot of room. Okay, any other questions, comments?
Nope.
Okay, and no butters.
Yeah, I talked, they all, well, two out of the three, I saw, one Saturday, one today. They were just curious where exactly it was, and
I was a little confused when I went over there. I came to 18. I'm looking for 20. I see 22. My wife said, I think it said 20 on the sign there. So
I know, it is confusing.
yeah, it was a little confusing where you were. But you had it marked nicely, you know, when I got out. You actually had it marked.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people mark stuff. So. Okay, so there's no public comment, nobody here.
Do you want to open and close it just for that formality?
Yeah, no, I opened it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I'll just close the
You close
public
it,
hearing.
okay.
I should give it a minute.
What we'll discuss and any discussion?
Just concerning the letter from the abutters. Tracy, do you have enough information for the minutes to document their concerns from the information we got from the
Yeah,
applicant?
Beth does the minutes.
Yeah.
So she'll,
Because they're really asking for, it says, while the application identifies the shed footprint setbacks, it does not provide information regarding the shed's orientation, which is on the print, door placement, which we've identified, and or how the access to the shed will be accommodated, which obviously from the front doors. So as long as the minutes just reflect the input from the application. That's all I have, Mr. Temporary Chair.
You should have been. You were vice chair, you were appointed. The,
He's a humble man.
Well, I would ask, why weren't you appointed vice chair?
okay, so we have no comment, and did you have any? So I'll entertain a motion. We have somebody?
I'll do it, but correct me if I do it incorrectly. Okay, I move to approve the application for a shed in case 26-006 BA Noonan, 20 Whites Grove Road. Approve the requested variance from Article 2, Section C3A of the Nottingham zoning ordinance to permit a 14 by 10 shed with setbacks of 2 feet on one side and 4 feet on the other, within the setback less than 20 feet from the side and rear lots. The applicant's property is located at 20 Whites Grove Road in Nottingham, New Hampshire, and is identified on tax map 63 lot 52.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the variance on case 26006 for Noonan. All those in favor? Signify by
Aye.
saying aye. All those opposed? Okay, it was four to nothing, four and none against, so.
Awesome.
Approved, you got a 30-day window of appeal, but
Thank you very much.
Good.
Appreciate it.
come back.
That is a small lot.
Yeah,
I know.
please.
Oh, thank you. You know what I say? I say we have a small lot, but we have a huge backyard because the lake's right there.
Yeah, right. That's the problem. Is that your front yard or your backyard, the lake?
I know. I call it the back door, but I guess everybody calls it the front door that faces the lake.
I went over there, there was, I don't know if you live there or you?
No,
Okay. But I went over there, I expected, some ring camera to ask me who I was or something.
too.
That happens a lot. So.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you again.
Thanks, Terry, for taking that.
probably get a bonus in my pay or
Yeah, I'm sure.
filling in.
You can look for that in the mail.
All the recovered off.
Checks in the mail, yeah, the TV went off.
Flicker.
The chair gets double.
Oh my god.
I don't know when it went off, I just happened to look and it
Well,
was
it
off.
flickered.
Oh, when it flickered, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
That must have been the generator.
Maybe we're on the generator.
You're having this with your minutes every
So I'm gonna have to,
time.
I'm gonna have to finish them, she's gonna start, we're gonna have to finish them, oh my god.
So glad we have Tracy here.
Okay, let's talk a lot now, okay?
One of the things I was wondering, you know, when I went to look at a couple of these properties, is what if somebody comes out and says, what are you doing here?
You have it, you know, they sign
Show
a
me your
sheet.
badge.
They have to
I
sign
don't
it.
have one.
Oh, you didn't get a badge?
I know we don't have one, but shouldn't we
They
have a
have to
little
sign a sheet.
card or
They
something?
sign a sheet that says, you know, you
Yeah,
have permission, so.
okay, but,
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually say I'm from the ZBA and they always
they
say,
come
what?
out.
And I say zoning board of adjustment. 'cause they
Okay.
don't.
It's on their application.
Oh, yeah.
okay,
too.
so they would know, okay.
Yeah, they have to give you permission.
All right, I just felt
But if
trespassed.
they come out with a shotgun,
Yeah,
Run,
you probably don't wanna hang around.
well, then I won't approve their variance request.
So I think, well, we'll go on to other business and I know we kind of started with some comment about other properties, being worried about stepping on property. But if there was any of that, any more comment, discussion in that vein, otherwise, we can go on to, I'd like to suggest, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of minutes to clear up and approve. And we can do them as one, or we can do them separately, according to the board's liking. The dates on that are 6/16, 6/30. 6/30 is down twice, is that the non-public?
Yeah, one's non-public.
Yes, and then a 7/16.
Are all those minutes in our package?
Some of them got mailed out, and I think there may be something that, I think the 7/16 is in there because that happened after I mailed. Oh, 9, I don't know. You guys have it.
7/16, okay. So I have the place right here.
So I do not record or recall reading, because at least one of those I was in. One of the,
Yeah,
or 2 of the 4, I should say. Maybe a third.
I know you were at the non-public.
Yeah, you were at the non-public.
Public.
Yeah.
And if we're not all comfortable with approving those tonight, then we can
You can approve the ones we know.
approve the ones we know we can.
In section 6, I see 6/16, 6/30 and 6/30. There's 2 of them,
There's one's the
One's non-
actual, and then one's the non-public.
non-public, okay.
Yeah, 6/30.
Yeah, I read these
Do
three.
you
I
have the
remember that one.
6/30?
And I don't think
Okay.
let me make
Do you
sure.
have the,
I could go print it, I don't have them.
do you have the 6/16 by chance? Does anyone have the 6/16?
Yes,
Have the 7/16. You
6/16.
have the
6/16,
7/16.
was I an
That's in your pack.
attendee?
7/16.
The 7/16, you were there.
Okay,
But not 6/16, he wasn't in attendance.
so it's the 6/30 that I have not reviewed. 7/16, I'm good with it, I could approve tonight if you so choose.
Entertain a motion then? Or I consider that a motion.
I will take, I will, I will make a motion to accept the draft minutes of the zoning board of adjustment from July 16th, 2026 as written.
And is that the public or non-public?
No, this is July 16th, last week.
16th, pardon me.
Last week.
Last week.
Last.
Yep.
7/16. We have a second.
I second.
Very second.
Any discussion or changes? All in favor? Aye. Abstentions? You're in favor, Romeo? Okay, all in favor, it's unanimous. And so that leaves two sets for 6:30. One is a non-public.
And Mr. Chair, you could choose to put it to the board. I would just abstain on that. Because I didn't get a chance to read it.
Prefer to push that ahead, is that what you're saying, Karen?
I move that we approve the minutes as read for June 30, both the non-public session and the public session.
And we have a second,
I'll second it.
second by Terry. Any discussion on that? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And
Abstention?
one abstain, yeah.
So one abstention. Thank you. So that leaves just one, that would be the June 16th set.
I move
Which is,
that,
I know, is quite a long time ago.
Yeah, no, that was the Dudley back then.
yeah, I move that we approve, or I move to approve the minutes as read of the June 16, 2026 meeting.
I'll second.
Second by Terry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And one abstention. Kevin?
I did not attend.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all. Any updates from the board? I could just open it up for the discussion or roundtable or whatever we'd like to call it.
I attended another noontime session on getting smart
Ah,
in terms of all of this, and it was really interesting, because I guess they've changed a whole lot of the state level ordinances. And so we have to, even if we have not yet modified ours to reflect those changes, we have to go with those changes, otherwise we could be sued. And they gave some references, and like one of them, I think it was, I can't remember, it was last week, like on a Wednesday or a Thursday, I think it was Thursday. One had just been approved the day before, and it affects things that we're looking at in terms of some of these cases. So we have to be careful when any of these come in to make sure that we're updated. And I know we have a meeting coming with all the different groups, and maybe planning will tell us what they're planning to do in terms of keeping us current.
By chance, did they offer a summary of the changes? Or a list, or?
Yeah, they gave me a website that we can go to, and they're going to have a publication that they're working on that will list the changes and how they're different from what they were in the past. So I'm waiting for notification of that, because if you participate in the session, then they give you like access to the PowerPoint and a list of references. So I'll double check and see if I can find that and then share it.
that'd be great if you could share that. I know you mentioned, Mary, too, about the joint meeting with planning board. And Tracy, do you happen to know that date offhand?
Yeah, that should be. I have that in here.
Is it August something?
Yeah, I thought it was August.
Rolling right up.
It's usually in August.
I believe August 26th.
26, thank you. So that's actually, that must be a Wednesday night, typical planning board
Yeah.
meeting night. I think we've seen some maybe interesting cases, I'll say, lately. So it might be something to bring up during that meeting. As far as, for instance, appeal type stuff, that's kinda, at least for me, it's, a little out of the ordinary, but,
It's not a norm, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of appeals from decisions. We've had a couple maybe.
This one seems to be very emotional.
Yeah,
Do we have any cases coming, have we reached the deadline yet on next month?
July 24th. Nope, there's time, a couple more days.
But
Yes.
is there anything coming, nothing?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Lot line adjustment came in, but that would be for planning board.
I
Can't
don't
remember
think,
if there's
usually you
anything.
notify me, I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything.
I don't think there's anything past this.
So maybe we're actually are getting into summer. Anybody have any other discussion or
Motion to adjourn.
motion to, I was waiting for you.
There we were stalled. I'll second it.
Second, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Thank you all.